Good morning. We had a little request from Gail about how to install custom fonts. So I just wanted to show you how to do that this morning on Squarespace 7.1. So you can see on here I've just styled all of my different headings and paragraphs that are inbuilt in Squarespace. I'll briefly just show you that. So you've got heading 1 to 4 and then paragraph 1 to 3, and I've styled those just so that I know and I can see what those various headings are, so that when we put the code in we can see what we're targeting. So we'd go to design and then custom CSS, and it will open this pane here. The first thing we'll need to do is install our fonts by going to manage custom files, and then you can just add your images or fonts. So you'd select your font. I'm using one called Newsreader, and I've just installed both of those in here. So I'm going to click off that, and then we're going to start to write the piece of code. I'll pop this piece of code below so that you can see that. And I'm just going to paste it, and I just keep this on my computer. Okay, so I'm just going to explain what all of these are. I've given this a descriptor so that I know specifically what the code is that I'm targeting, because after a while, if you're putting lots of different code in the back end, you might not remember what it's for. So I've just added // my descriptor, in this case it's fonts, and then // and you can see it's grayed out, which means it's not affecting the code. Then basically we need to first of all tell the computer that we've installed a custom font. So you do that by writing @font-face, open a squirrely bracket, typing in font-family, colon, and then we're going to give it a name. So for me, I know this font is called Newsreader. We just make sure that that's nestled here inside some apostrophes, and then we add a semicolon just so that it knows that that's the end of that piece of line of code. And then underneath we write src : URL brackets, and inside the brackets we've got an apostrophe, and then we're going to write in what the URL is. So I'm going to delete that, and then we come down to manage custom files, and I'm going to click on this particular one here. Now you can see that it's now added the URL of that piece of code from the file that we've uploaded. And I'm going to do this again because in this instance I've wanted to add 2 pieces of code. So this time I'm going to write newsreader-italic. And again, I'm going to delete that little URL there, and I'm going to add the italic piece of code. Just make sure you press on it once or it will add the URL twice. Now we're going to come to styling our headings. So I've labelled this as a heading, and then we've got H1, H2, H3 and H4, so that relates to each of these headings. And if we want to do the paragraphs as well, you'd think it might be P1, 2 and 3. Sadly not. In this case, it's .sqsrte-large for paragraph 1, P for the most of the body of the text, and then we've got .sqsrte-small for the smallest paragraph here. So in this instance, what I want to do is literally change heading 1 and heading 2. So I'm going to just delete those because they're unnecessary. And then I've put my cursor inside my squarely brackets. I'm just going to press enter. And then what we're basically going to do is write font family colon apostrophe. We're going to write the name of the font in there and then pop a semicolon after it. Oh, it's not newsletter, it's newsreader. That's why it hasn't changed. There we go. And now we can see it's calling the correct font. And here for heading 2, we've got font-family colon, those apostrophes, and this time it's newsreader-italic. And then again after that I'm putting my semicolon. So here we can see that these 2 are now being called, and we've styled and changed those. And then here I've decided that I want to change this one, the smallest one. I think I want that one to be italic, so I'm going to copy and paste that same bit there. and I want paragraph 1 to be the newsreader. So I'm going to pop that in between the squirrely brackets and add that. And I'm going to delete that because I want paragraph 2 to just stay the same. So we just delete any unnecessary code. And then you just press save. And there we go. That is how you add custom fonts and to your website. I hope that helps.